That's right. Woo. Nice. Put those babies in. So I wanted to give you a little tour of my setup here. Let me show you what I got. So in the first video you saw this thing hovering at about a foot. So here it is. I'll just kind of go through it. Quick view. Second stage up there. First stage down here. First stage lands back on the launch pad, just like Elon. So we're using a jet turbine, and I'll explain more. So there is the jet turbine, and then for so it has very slow throttle response, and so for hovering, it doesn't react quick enough. So I've added folding electric fans. So during launch and landing, these guys are out and helping to hover. And then, but as soon as this thing starts picking up speed, going straight up, they fold in, and then they just act like air scoops to keep the turbine fed with air, because of course that would be low pressure right in there at high speed. And then this whole battery area there is actually covered by this. And when those fans fold in, they're out to reduce drag at high speed. So if you look, this is the profile. You can see from the top, they just stick out a little bit, scoop in the air as it goes through high speed. And then for yaw control, I have these servos attached, and then this flap down at the bottom. And you saw in the video, it worked really good. So I got 3 of those. This is the jet turbine. And I don't have the vector control system. I'll show that later, but that would actually ultimately go on the bottom. I was just flying this by RC control in the video. So then coming up, these are the batteries, 2 3S batteries per EDF. And then in the center, you can't really see it, but there's a fuel tank that actually has jet fuel, just kerosene, high-grade kerosene. I think if I shake this, you might be able to see the fuel there. Yeah. So anyway. And then coming up further, this is the compartment where the parachute will be, a ballistic parachute. First will be a drogue chute and then a main chute. And here's the parachute system over here, still under construction. Uses CO2 ballistic release, 4-foot parachute. And then coming up further, I do not have the stage transition design yet. This is just in here to see if this turbine system could lift the entire weight. But this is a Super GX3, a high power rocket that I got from Tim Mulligan at the Apogee Rockets, a friend of mine. And so I still need to build the first stage, the second stage mating adapter. And you saw how I was able to monitor the yaw back and forth. The landing gear went back and forth between these two stops. And I have the exhaust system here set up. So let's go over here. I actually have kind of a bench-mounted pendulum system. You're probably working with something similar. And here I actually do have the vector control system on the bottom and the servo, and it's actually working. It's just not hooked up at the moment. And then this is free to swing as a pendulum and just the YZ plane. And this is the flight controller I'm using right now. You might recognize that, a Pixhawk. And then this is a Husarian board with a Raspberry Pi on there too. So, and that's the IMU right there. And I'm also looking, you see I have a Maytech here, gonna look at iNav. And then this is the control system. You can measure the angle with that variable resistor. That's my throttle control system there. And just the refueling system here. So anyway, quick review of what I'm up to.